first time we've had a chance to get together to talk about Utah, and excited about finishing up work here today and tomorrow morning, and then going down to Dallas, where pulled all of our guys as far as any of them. How many of our guys have been able to be in Texas for an extended period of time, and there's not a whole bunch of them. There's only one or two of these guys that have spent an extended period of time in Texas, other than flying to Fort Worth or Austin or Lubbock to spend the night and play one game. So Dallas is kind of the Big 12 headquarters. It's where it's the hub of the Big 12. It's where we want to be able to stay to playing a championship game there at some point here, hopefully next year. And so being able to go spend a few days there to experience it, I think will be good for our team, and get to play a quality opponent as well. My thoughts on Utah, Coach Whittingham has done a great job there. It kind of started with Urban Meyer the 2 years prior to that. They won a whole bunch of games in the Mountain West. Transitioned from Group of Five to Power Five about the same time we did, I think a year earlier. So, have been winning 9-10 games pretty much every year. I remember those wars they had with TCU when TCU was in the Mountain West. Those guys, were going back and forth and won a lot of championships and won a lot of games, pretty much top 25, 9-10 wins a year for about 15 years now. Transitioned into the Pac-12, and much like everybody with some transition, kind of, had to reevaluate where they are, and, went 5-7 there for a couple of years, but figured things out, and right back at winning 9-10 games a year and being in the top 25. Obviously, the thing that stands out more than anything is Coach Whittingham's in 13 years is 10-1 in bowl games. So whatever they're doing in bowl games is, once this thing's over with, I'm probably going to try to corner them to figure it out. But they have done a great job with their program. Salt Lake City's obviously a thriving market. Their recruiting base is a lot like ours, just on opposite ends of the country. They, recruit up and down the West Coast. And get a lot of kids from all over the place, and recruit junior colleges as well. And there's a lot of, we don't have a lot of crossover with them, obviously, at all, just based on their more California junior colleges, where we're more, East Coast junior colleges. But do a nice job with their talent. They're top 10 and active NFL players. They got a ton of NFL players out there, so that just tells you what kind of talent they got. And it's going to be a tough game for us. There's no question. Coach Whittingham's a defensive guy. You can tell they pay attention to what they're doing defensively. They've recruited well, got big, thick kids on the D line. Old, you look at them, they got seniors across the board, big and thick, hard to move, great against the run, multiple with what they do. Got rangy linebackers that cover, safeties that are downhill players, corners that can cover, play a lot of man, try to put as many people in the box as they can to take away the run. So, very solid with where they are defensively. I know Coach Whittingham's also, heavily involved in special teams. I don't know how many times we got to face a Australian punter that is just out of sight, but here's another one. This one might be the best one. I said that with the Texas guy, and deservingly so. He won the Ray Guy this year, but guess who won it last year? I mean, the guy we're about to face. So it's unreal. They got a great scheme. They've coached a bunch of Ray Guy, Lou Groza guys, and so obviously it's a kicker's market there, but the Wisnowski guy is really, really, really good. He averages 45 yards a punt. Doesn't outkick his coverage as much as the Texas guy. Texas would boom a 100-yarder, it seemed like, and obviously had great placement, but could really do that. He doesn't do that, and I think it's probably on purpose, because a lot of times when you kick your coverage, you get an opportunity to get some return yards. They don't have a lot of return yards. They've only had, I think, 6 all year where guys have actually returned the ball on them. So he does a great job of placing the ball all over the field. does a really nice job. They supposedly had a 4-year all Pac-12 kicker leave, through graduation. And so they had no idea who their kicker was going to be until this Matt Gay kid showed up on campus in August and walked on and won the Lou Groza. I mean, how does that happen? It's unbelievable. And this guy, his approach on the ball is fast, and I think he hit 2 or 3 56-yarders that were pretty much like up where the top of the goalposts are. So I don't know what his range is. It's longer than 56, I can tell you that. And his accuracy is unreal. It's a neat story. It's pretty impressive. So their specialists are really, really, really good. I thought we've faced some really good collective specialists throughout the course of the year, starting with Virginia Tech, and Kansas State's were really good. And I mean, here you go again. These guys are outstanding. Their coverage units are really good. They have great speed. Helps when you have a punter put it where you want to put it, and a kicker kicking it through the end zone a lot. And then the return aspect of it, you can tell they pay a lot of attention to punt return. This Hobbs kid, I believe he's from Louisiana, a little bitty guy, but has 4 or 5 returns that are game-changing returns. Do a really nice job with their punt return, and then their kickoff return will scare you as well. So, got our work cut out for us on special teams. I've said that 3 or 4 times throughout the course of the year. None is more important than this one right here. Offensively, they're multiple with what they do. They're really big up front. I remember watching these guys. They got a new coordinator this year. Haven't changed things tremendously. But watching them last year when we played BYU, they had played Utah the week before. And I studied their offensive tape a lot and remember them being very multiple with what they do. Their O-line is huge. I know they lost some guys in the NFL last year, and then they replaced them with a bunch of huge guys. So evidently they're focused on recruiting the bigger guys up front. Got great skill. The receivers, they got guys that can go. All look really good. 2 running backs that do a nice job. Their quarterback situation, I don't know if we're going to be seeing Huntley or not. Obviously, we gotta count on seeing him. Does a nice job in being a dual threat guy. And then their senior, the Williams guy, is a big, good-looking dude as well. So we'll prepare for both of them. And there's a few differences with what they do with when those guys are in there, but. Going to have to defend a variety of things. So, quality opponent. Excited about this opportunity. We'll go down tomorrow and spend a couple of days. Go through another game prep. We've prepped them for about a game week now, and we will hit the reset button and prep for them another week, and then play the game on the 26th. And then after that, our players haven't had a whole lot of time off. Been here since the Oklahoma game, going through finals, ending the season, and then getting right into the game prep. So not going to let them go home like I have in the past. Just can't, based on the timing of the game. But after the game's over, they're going to have about 2 weeks off prior to starting the spring semester. So take some questions.
Dean, the last game you were having to face your offense without Will, and you had to do it quickly, sort of figure out what you could do. You have a little bit more time for this, so do you have some different ideas offensively of what Chris can do, what you can do offensively without Greer?
Yeah. I think the timing with Chris and the receivers is naturally going to be better after 5 weeks. So we'll let him spin it around a good bit. Run game won't change a whole lot. But yeah, I got some other ideas. I'm obviously not going to tell you, but got some other ideas and some different things that we can do. Got to be smart with Chugs. We don't have a lot of quarterbacks laying around. What our depth chart. David Israel's gotten a bunch of reps, so he's going to be much more ready to play. And then we'll do some different things to be able to move the ball. I thought we did a good job against Oklahoma in the short time that we had in preparing for that. Thought we did a good job being, multiple and doing some different things, and I thought we moved the ball pretty good and ended up scoring some points as well. So I'd probably plan on something similar to that.
How is Will doing?
He's good. Obviously, today is a good recruiting day, but that was the most important recruiting day. Recruited our tail, and really, really proud of our staff. And Alex did a great job, who's our NFL liaison. Happy with our administration on supporting us as well to recruit him and get him to come back for his senior year. That was step one, and then some other chips have fallen into play after that. Getting those juniors back is important. I think that'll help us, with a lot of momentum going into 2018. Having a good day today. I can comment on some of it, not all of it. But adding some other pieces of the puzzle. We'll add more guys in February, and then we'll probably add more guys into the summer. So it's not about my one comment on signing day. It's not about a signing day. It's about a signing class, and it's going to take multiple things to happen in order to find out what that final product is, that final roster is, come August 1st.
How did you approach it, Dan? Is there a percentage you wanted to get locked in, or was it to hold some? Or
yes, if we would have we can sign 26 in this recruiting cycle. You got to remember that Jack Allison and Giovanni Haskins and T.J. Simmons, who for some reason that's not important for them to have what y'all deem as an important signing day. But those guys are a part of this class too, So we got 26 that we can sign, and to me it's not about a day or a class. It's about what your roster looks like August 1st. That's what counts. But we could go to 26, so we would have sent out 26. We can't send out 27 with new NCAA rules and regulation, but we would have sent out 26 today if we had the 26 that we want in order to make August 1st roster look great. That's not the case, so I've seen guys panic and offer guys that they don't know. I've seen it over the course of the last 72 hours of specific programs approaching our guys that have been committed for a year and throw offers out at guys they don't know. To me, that doesn't make any sense, which is why they didn't get them. Building it the way that we've built it is good, and I like where we're at with it.
Any surprises one way or the other today as far as who has and has not?
No.
Could you comment on your final few days with Wellman from Spring Valley, and just what he's been to you and the program?
Yeah, he's what this program is all about. I mean, he have known Eli for, gosh dang, 7 years now. Probably. I think that's as long as I've been here. He's one of the first guys that I recruited. I mean, I think he committed to us when he was a junior, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, the 5 years that he's been here and the couple years that I knew him prior to that, he's what Mountaineer mentality is all about. I mean, he walks it, he lives it, he acts it. You know, he's got his degree and has played a lot of football for us, and is gonna be a fixture in this program forever and ever. So couldn't be prouder of a young man just by doing everything right and being a team captain and playing as many snaps as he plays. His body really, honestly, shouldn't be able to withstand as many snaps and as many hits as he's given out. So he just does that because he loves every minute of it, you know. And he walked off that practice field yesterday with tears in his eyes, you know, because it was the last time he was ever going to walk off that practice field. And that's how much it means to him, and that's how much he means to me.
How do you view this bowl game? Do you view it as a culmination of the year for your seniors, or is it a springboard to next year? How do you...
I'll tell you, at 4 o'clock on the 26th, if we can do the second part of that. It's going to be a hard game to win. I'm telling you right now, Utah is good. I mean, you look at their bowl record, I mean, that tells you they're good, but everything about their program, they're good. They got really good players. They're really well coached. They have great tradition. I mean, they're good. So, yeah, it's going to be hard. So I think our seniors, I think it means a lot to them to be able to go out. It does kind of remind me a little bit of 2 years ago going to Phoenix, you know, playing a Pac-12 school against a good opponent that we're probably not technically supposed to win. Our seniors, it meant a lot to them to go win. So we went and won, and it helped our juniors propel into a season where we went and won 10 games. So I'd sure as heck like for it to be both. You know, it's going to be hard to win and send our seniors out with a victory. It's our goal. It's what we want to do. It's what we expect to do. You know, and if and when that happens, it's going to help us in 2018. We got some momentum. I think everybody would agree with that. We got some momentum going into 2018. This would help. Most certainly help.
Dana, what did you identify as big needs in this class that you got, and how'd you feel you filled them?
I mean, I can't comment on that because we're not done. You know, if you look at the ones that are in, they're a little of everything, right? You got a quarterback, you got a kicker, you got D linemen, you got backers, you got corners, you got O linemen, you got receivers, you got tight ends, and we're still filling slots. I think this class with 26 people, you need a little bit of everything.
And you sound like you're not setting up any alibis, so even though you don't have your quarterback or your running back for the upcoming game. Is that all you? Is that fair? And do you know of anybody else that's not going to be there?
Well, I mean, I hadn't even thought about it that way. We put our guys in position to go be successful, and we expect to go be successful. We got 2 capable running backs that have played games for us that have practiced really well for the last couple of weeks. Kennedy and Martell look really good. In my opinion, they look as good as they've looked since I've seen them. Chugs has been around here for a long time. We expect him to act like a starting quarterback and practice like a starting quarterback and go play like a starting quarterback. And he's done a good job up until this point. So we got a lot of other guys around him that have made a lot of plays and have blocked people, and we got a defense that is lined up and played tough and got off blocks and made tackles and made plays in the secondary, and we expect that to happen.
Was there ever a chance, what play, I mean, was there?
I told him if he declared for the NFL, I was going to make him play. He goes, okay, fine, then I'll come back. He's not ready. I mean, it's sore. Actually, the dislocation is more sore than the bone that broke. So he still has a hard time gripping. He wouldn't have been able to go back in the game even if it wasn't the break. The break is what takes time, but that location was bad. Y'all saw it. And so it's just going to take some time. So obviously the smart thing is to rehab it the right way, which he's doing right now. January 9th, when the spring semester starts, he'll be ready to lead this team. He'll be ready to roll.
And you said you had to re-recruit Will, so to speak, to keep him here. How do you go about that? What do you try to sell him on? I mean, when he's looking at that possibility.
I think unfinished business more than anything. A lot of he came here to win the Big 12 and to be the best that he can be, and I just don't think we're there yet. That was kind of my message to him. And he agrees. I understand where he was at with it. I mean, he's got his degree, has a wife, has a child, and the natural progression in life is to go be a professional. It's just there's just unfinished business here. It's funny too. I had to re-recruit Sills for the third time. I mean, who recruits one kid 3 times? This is the third time I had to recruit him. That to me is kind of funny. It's a different set of circumstances with the same reasoning. He's just it's unfinished business with him. This coaching staff and this program means a lot. And this university and this state means a lot to both those kids.
How important will it be to him to get another year of playing before he goes off on his career, Sills?
Which one, Sills?
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, he's been playing receiver for a year. Made some unbelievable catches, and it's a great story. Can catch touchdowns better than a lot of people. And there's just a whole lot of things that he can improve on. So and they both know they can improve, which is why they're back. But the unfinished business part of it, I think, is something that hit home to them.
Dana, now that you sort of lived it to the end, do you like the early signing?
I do. I do because we're a program of stability right now, and we've been, our coaching staff has done a great job. We have good stability. We know who we are and what we're looking for, and we went out and identified that. And there's a lot of other programs out there that's not very stable, and a lot of good places that came knocking and calling, and a lot of our guys remained loyal to us. That becomes hard if you give them another month and a half. So I like it for where we're currently at with our program and how we've built our recruiting classes over the last couple of years. This plays into our hand, I think. We've hung on to more than we've lost for the first time in 7 years.
Do you think the early signing period benefits programs that can evaluate players, whereas you wait?
Trying to win the day?
Well, just evaluate.
As opposed to trying to win the day?
Correct.
Just recruiting off of rankings and names? Yeah, we never tried to win signing day. Now, I'd be the first to admit I left signing day, especially 7, 6, 5, 4 years ago, just kind of angry at times with losing a guy or not being ranked where I thought we should be or any of that. And then I was like, what are you doing? So I just think this plays into how we've done recruiting here for the last 3-4 years. But there is a lot of programs out there that just tried to win that day, and they're not even coaching anymore.
It does seem like it could be a somewhat fluid process where all the variables, they could be tailored, if enough people can recommend or whatever. Are you okay with the timing of it, or the length of the windows, or would you address any of that?
Yeah. And I don't think we won't sign anybody tomorrow or the next day. I didn't even know it was a 3-day window. I didn't know February is a 3-day window because all you hear is a signing day. I wasn't even aware of it being a 3-day window. I thought it might be a 3-week window. I don't know. Because usually you're just going to get what you get. And then you got to go look for grad transfers or laid out guys or 4-year transfers where you can sign them whenever you want. So I don't get the 48-hour thing. That doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think that signing your contract long term, did it help?
Yeah, it did. Absolutely. That's why we got more high school guys this year. Last year we signed 50% transfers. This year I don't know what the percentage is. We're not done with our class yet, but a lot of the guys signing today, which are good quality student athletes, are mostly high school guys. So yeah, that's 100% what that is.